Hey everyone, it's Gamefruitpulp and welcome back to another Building Toronto video after a long absence, but I'm happy to be back. Exams are finished and so I have some more time to record and catch up on all the builds that have been done sort of without recordings. And so finally we're back in Building Toronto, and today we're going to be doing the first sort of catching up video of a build that has some sort of significance to the city itself. There's been a lot of kind of small builds done as well that we'll sort of all go over in an episode later, probably the next episode when I look at One King. But today we're going to be looking at a theater. The first theater that we've built, Toronto has I think 3 or 4 of them at least. But this is the Sony Center for the Performing Arts. And so this is a pretty interesting looking building, more of a modern design than a lot of the other builds that we have done. And a sort of unique style. There's obviously a lot of boxiness just because on this side there's buildings that butt up against it. And then over here, the sidewalk still needs to be done when the L tower, which goes here, is completed. But the other side obviously is completely finished. The interior is completely finished. And you get a unique view sorry, not a unique view. You get a unique building here with the Sony Center because of the different layers. And so the building was built in 1960, so it is a pretty old building. And so as you can imagine, at the time that this was built, this is a pretty revolutionary style. And the architect, whose name I forget, unfortunately, was sort of known as one of the trendsetters in this kind of modern design and one of the sort of leading edge architects in this field. And so this 4-story building is divided up into 3 main sections. It's just a little bit difficult for us as builders to articulate that inside because there's not as many pictures of the inside of the building as there is the outside. But they did their best of trying to demonstrate what the building sort of presented in real life, not in the sense of it being an exact copy, but in the sense of what the building would be about. And so this building was actually built by a couple of the people on the build team. Obviously Stormy and Monday Glue, and one of our server developers helped out a little bit as well, Sir Lollington. But as we head in, I'll continue to talk a little bit more about the building. It was, as I said, built in 1960, and it operated as a theater from 1960. The date opened was September 1st, 1960 until 2008. And then in 2008, they closed for 2 years to basically redo and revitalize the theater. They took some of the changes made and reverted them back to the original version of the build, just to bring back some of the heritage of the building that obviously has a pretty centered location in Toronto, but also a good piece in Toronto's history. And so they wanted to make sure that the heritage was restored in the building, and then as a sort of result of that, it was designated a heritage building by the City of Toronto. So now in another video, I believe it was the last one I did, that wasn't the meme video behind the scenes, I talked about how there's 2 different heritage designations in Toronto. There's the City of Toronto designation and then the provincial designation. The provincial designation does mean a little bit more, but still any heritage designation does mean something, right? And so this was designated a heritage site by only the City of Toronto, and the province has not yet designated it. So you can see the interior, we did the builders, I should say, I had no role in this build at all, actually. The builders did a pretty good job of trying to articulate the sort of theater atmosphere that you have. You have the seats down here, then another level above, and then the curtains coming out. And I think it does a good job of sort of demonstrating what the theater would be about, really. And then so a little bit more information about the theater. As I said, it was closed from 2008 to 2010, and in 2010 they opened back up on September 1st, exactly 50 years later from when they opened originally. And so the only other thing that's sort of note with this building, it's something kind of interesting that I had to do a little bit of research on to understand what it meant, was that this is Canada's largest soft seat theater. And so I tried to figure out what this meant because I had no idea what it meant. And basically what I found is that it's a sort of a type of entertainment building that sort of tries to capture a unique feel. And the feel is that it's larger than something like a nightclub or a movie theater where you have, I don't know, a nightclub, you have a capacity of 100 or 200 people, and a movie theater, it depends on the theater, but a big theater you get maybe 400 people. So it's larger than one of those, but it's also smaller than an arena. And so you still get this sort of close vibe. You get a vibe like you're up in the performance, you're still a part of what's going on, but you're also far enough away that you feel like it's truly a performance and you're not a part of it. Whereas in a smaller theater, in a comedy club, for example, you feel like oftentimes you are part of the performance, and to be honest, most times you're part of the performance. That's not the case with these type of theaters, is soft seat theaters, and it sort of distinguishes them from their smaller smaller comparables as well as the bigger comparables, because the bigger ones, something like an arena, you know that you're sort of just a spectator along for the ride. But that's really it for the Sony Center. Going forward, there's a couple, I don't want to give away too much. There's a building up near there, One King, that's almost finished. That'll be the next video that we do. Off camera, there's been a couple of things done. We're trying to clean up a lot of the little details that we haven't been doing. So this is obviously a thing here. We got like a kind of Mandarin style buffet going on up here, and some other stuff that you'll see in future videos. But the next video will be a completed One King, and I'll go over the other stuff near One King during that video as well. But I'm glad to be back. Hopefully I'll get that video up by next week. This one should be going up on Saturday, which is off of my regular schedule that I had, that I kind of abandoned. But I think this will go up either Saturday or Sunday. And that's really it. So if you're new to the channel, you're new to the project, the Building Toronto project is basically a team of 4 of us right now. I guess 3 and then Star, who's only built this one building right here, who are basically building Toronto on a 1-to-1 scale. And we're slowly making our way through. We've done about 8 blocks now, and we're working on catching up on all the interiors. And that's really it. But it's a pretty cool project. We've been doing it for almost a year now, or sorry, over a year now. We've grown the team a little bit, and I'm really excited about where things will be going with this. But if you're new to the project, this is sort of the first video you've seen. I recommend you watch some of the other ones, because I don't go over everything I've done too frequently, if at all. And so if you want to sort of catch up and see what we have built in the past, I recommend you check out this playlist. There's a playlist made for the series. And additionally, if you do enjoy the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And that's the easiest way to sort of catch all the content in the future. I'm trying to get back to 2 uploads a week for the Building Toronto series, and 3 in general. Whether or not I can do that in the near future is yet to be seen, but you never know, really. And I guess the last thing is, if you're a returning viewer and you enjoyed, thank you for your continued support. And if you want to leave a like and maybe share the channel with some of your friends who you think might enjoy the project as well, that would be greatly appreciated. Looking forward to building and showcasing some more cool builds in the future. Really, that's it. Yeah, I haven't recorded in like 3 weeks, and so it's a little bit like I'm trying to get back in the groove, and I keep feeling like I'm forgetting to say something, but I don't think I did. I did forget something. If you want to check out the survey for the build for yourself, you're able to do so. All you have to do is log on to the server. The IP is always in the description of all my videos, and then you join and you do /go. And if you click on the beacon, the Build Toronto build project, you end up right here at Bay and Wellington, and then obviously you can fly around and sort of find what you want to find. And that's really it. So that is everything. That's what I was forgetting. Now I can end the video and not have to worry that I forgot something. So I will catch you guys all next time, hopefully in a few days. My name is Gamefruitpulp. This has been Minecraft Building Toronto on the Initsi Craft server, and I will catch you all next time. Have a good one.